This is chapter 54 of The Flower of Freedom by Deborah J. Reeves. I'm the author. I welcome you and remind you that all rights to the book and to my presentation of it are reserved. Here we go, chapter 54, On the Slopes. Bertie knocked on Marie's door a few minutes after he had gotten to his room. "Room service," he called. Michaud, Philippe, and Joseph were standing with their backs along the corridor wall so that she could not see them if she peeked through the peephole. Marie threw open the door with a scowl and said, "We didn't order room service." "Well, Mama did, and that's a fine way to greet your brother." The other boys came out of hiding, and they stood behind Bertie. "Bertie? Bertie, how did you get here?" "I flew, and it was a long, tiring flight. Are you going to let me in or not? Do I have to take all Mama's baking back to my room and share it with these guys?" "Not even a hello for your friends. Where are your manners, Marie?" Michaud joked. "Get in here, you ruffians," she ordered, and they stormed through the door and suddenly became a little shy when they realized that there was another girl in the room. "Everybody, this is Suzette Leblanc, my friend, but you three know her from school, so the only one who needs an introduction is Bertie." Bertie smiled and said, "Hi, Suzette," as he unpacked the baking from the carry-on, and Marie dove for the Napoleon cookies so that no one made like her mother did. She was happy to share all the rest, but not them. They were baked in her mother's special love language that Marie needed to hear. Michaud said, "Hi, Suzette," while Philippe and Joseph nodded to her. Marie told Bertie, "Thank God you finally arrived. I got your sizes from Papa, and the ski equipment is being delivered tonight, and the front desk is keeping them with ours for safekeeping. I was worried that we would miss a whole day on the slopes having to retrieve you." "Good fibbing there, Philippe," she said, looking over at him with a mock scowl. He grinned back and shrugged his shoulders. "It was a tough job, Marie, but someone had to do it. You think it's easy to lie to you and drag this snowman in from the cold?" A lot of laughter was heard emanating from that room, but soon Joseph, who was becoming the most sensible among them, suggested that they might want to have an early night and hit the slopes early. "How early?" asked Michaud. "I was thinking 7, said Joseph. "Of course, those of you who are studying the cushy stuff like medicine next year might want to sleep in." 7 it is, says Suzette, accepting the challenge. "On the slopes? What time for breakfast at the lodge?" "How about 6:30? Michaud answered. "Done," said Bertie. "The engineers will be there first." "Hey, what about me?" demanded Philippe in mock outrage at being left behind by Bertie. "I thought you were majoring in computer engineering, Philippe," Bertie retorted. "Oh yeah, we'll be there first." Philippe and Bertie were standing at the doors of the restaurant in the lodge when it opened at 6:15. They asked for a table for 10 in front of the windows. Philippe had sounded the general alarm about an early breakfast with his school group, and they were optimistic that others would want to join in. They were not wrong. It was a good thing that Marie and Suzette showed up at 6:20, because by 6:30 they had to hold seats for Michaud and Joseph. 4 of Marie's other friends took seats at Marie's end of the table. Another table of 10 quickly filled nearby. Bertie and Philippe moved down to let Michaud sit next to Suzette when he poked Bertie in the back so subtly that Bertie lunged forward into his coffee cup. He got up and moved one seat to the right, and Philippe followed his lead, so Joseph sat next to Marie. After a hearty breakfast, they went to the front desk where they were directed to where their ski equipment was stored. They showed the man their tags, and they were soon dressed and facing some of the most beautiful slopes in the world. "We're not in Canada anymore, Toto," said Bertie to Marie. "Did you just call me a dog, Bertie? You will pay for that on the slopes, sir," she responded, giggling. Without waiting, Marie lunged forward, and she flew down a challenging slope. Taken by surprise by her launch, Bertie followed a heartbeat behind, determined that she would not beat him to the bottom. Everyone else in their group launched off shortly after, and to anyone sitting in the restaurant, it looked like a line of dominoes was falling on the slope on the other side of the bunny hill. The brown-haired man by the windows was watching intently. He ignored the server, asking what he might want for breakfast, until the group was out of sight. Once he ordered, he refocused his attention on the children learning to ski on the bunny hill. One girl with long blonde braids sticking out of a rainbow-colored cap caught his attention. He sat there a little longer than he intended, imagining how she might look with terror in her eyes. That's the end of chapter 54. We're glad you were here. We hope it was a nice little break. Come back for chapter 55. It's called Good Timing. Your friend Deb.